Welcome, my name is Debbie and this is Pouring My Art Out for the Lord, and I'm going to show you how to make a couple of book page pockets today. I have a group that is working on a Bible study about the return of the Jewish exiles, and we have made an envelope journal like this. So it's got envelopes here and an envelope, well, pockets here and pockets here with an envelope. So what I'm going to do is make some pockets for here, and I thought I'd take everybody along if you would like to make some pockets as well. The sizing that I will show in here will be for this album, but you can make them any size that you want for any of your projects. So I have some Bible book page here, and this particular Bible book page is 5 3/4 inches by 8 3/4 inches, but you really don't need to have exactly that size. This particular one is a pretty sturdy book page, a hymn page, page out of a hymn book would be good too. This is a really good sturdy paper as well. Maybe I'll make one of them out of there. And this is another old Bible I have, and I love using this paper. It's such a beautiful color, but it was a paperback Bible, and it's kind of fragile. So you can use it, but just be careful because it can rip on you. I like using this for something that's structural, which is these book page pockets. So we're going to make 2 pockets today, and this is one of them. So it's just very simple, just a little pocket here and a little pocket here, and it folds up. And then the other one is, it's got a flap here, it's got a pocket in here, kind of like a pouch, and then another pocket down here, and it closes up like that. So let's make this one first. I like to put 2 pages together when I do this. If you have really thin pages, you might want to do more than 2. I'm going to hide this image here and just turn this page around like that. And let me see. Yeah, I think that will be perfect. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to take a glue stick, and I'm going to glue my 2 pages together. I am going to sew mine eventually. So if you're sewing, this is just basically tacking it together until you can get it to the sewing machine. If you're not going to sew, you will need a little bit extra glue on all of the outside edges. So keep that in mind. So I'm just going to try to line this up pretty well here. It doesn't have to be perfect, and mine is not perfect here. It looks good here, but not there. Okay, and then I'm going to just, I think I'll do it this way. So I'm going to fold it in half. This is just a really simple one, just like that. Looking for my bone folder. And then we also want to fold these pockets back in. And in order to do them the same, fold them at the same place, it doesn't really matter, but I just fold up. I'm not going to give you measurements because everybody's book page is going to be different, and that'll confuse you, I think. So fold it in half and then fold it up. You don't want to fold it in half. You want to leave some space here, because this is the space that we'll see here that we can tuck something in here. So you don't want to go all the way up there. You want to go maybe about, say, 1/3 of the way up there, like that. Okay. And then we'll open up our package here, and this one will fold in like this, and then the other one will reverse like that. Okay, so that's just basically our structure. It's the same as this, right? So then what I'm going to do at the sewing machine is I'm going to sew here, open this up and just sew on this edge here and this edge here, and then I'm going to fold them up, and then I'm going to sew all around all 4 sides. And then I'll probably ink it up a little bit before I come back, just so you don't have to worry about watching me do that. Okay, so that is done. So I just sewed a zigzag up here and up here without folding the page first, folded it in and just did a straight stitch all the way around. I still have some tails hanging here. I'll put a little bit dot of glue on them and trim them off. In a minute, I'll probably decorate first because sometimes when you decorate, you cover some of that. And then I inked around all of the edges. So super simple. So this one is going to go onto our envelope journal. And I mean, you could put it anywhere you want. I think I'm going to put it right here onto the cover. We have our other journal that's going to go on top, and then we'll tie it up all together. But I think that would be nice on the cover. So I'll show you how to do that in a minute. And then the other one is slightly maybe more complicated, but not that bad at all. So these ones, when you flip them up, what I like to do is I'm going to take 2 pages again. And I'm going to take them apart, and I'm going to flip one upside down. And then that way, let me just show you, okay? If you've never done this before, if you just take them out of your book like this and they're both right side up, when you fold this up for a pocket, that's going to be upside down. When you fold this down for a flap, it's going to be upside down, right? But this is right side up, inside. But if you flip one page over, this is another reason I like to use more than one page. Then, if this is right side up, you flip this up and it's right side up for your pocket, and you flip this down and that's right side up for your flap. So it works really well like that. So I'm going to glue this one together again. And this one I'm going to have to make a little narrower for our envelope journal. If you're making this just for a regular journal, this one I did cut down, I think, just the white borders on this one. So this one is 4 3/4 inches wide, and our journal is only 4 1/4 inches in the middle. So I'm going to cut it down. But I put glue on one, and just make sure when you glue them together that you have one upside down, one right side up. Doesn't really matter at this point which one is which. Just line up your edges like that. Okay, and then I'm going to trim mine down. So I'm pretty sure our inside, let me just double check this. It's about 4 1/4, so I'm going to make it 4, just so there's a little bit of room, wiggle room there for us. So let me see, I'm just going to take the white borders off first. Oops. And then I will see how much more I need to take off. Oh, my trimmer doesn't like this thin paper very well. Okay, so that is 4 3/4. Doesn't really matter if you know where you take it off, but I think I'll kind of take it off from both sides. That didn't work very well either. My trimmer's not liking this paper today. I think I'm going to just do it just at 4 inches here then. Then I won't have to cut it on both sides. So that should be 4 inches all the way down. Let me just stick 4 and 4. Yep, okay. So I don't need this. Now this one, again, I'm just going to sort of give you some measurements, some guidelines, not measurements, sorry. So put this with your right side, your book page that's facing right side up towards you. If I did this way, it would be upside down. This way is right side up. And then I just want to flip over the bottom. This one is 1 1/2 inches, which is about good. So I'm just going to go, I'm lining it up on my grid here. If you don't have a grid, you can kind of measure or something, or just eyeball it. It's funny, I have something underlined there. I think this was my Bible. I think. I get a lot from the thrift store and stuff, but I think this particular one was mine. So I folded this up 1.5 inches. And then this particular one, let me see. I have 1.5 inches as well. Oh, it looks different. Hang on, that can't be it. 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches. Okay, so then you can fold it down 2.5 inches. I'm just gonna mark it just so that I probably didn't even do that first one. You know, I mostly just do this kind of just by feel, but so then I'm gonna just do it on the outside just so I can see my marks first. So I would fold this down 2.5 inches. About, doesn't have to be exact. And then what I want to do is get another piece of paper, another book page, and I'm going to fold this one in half. Just put that aside for a minute. I'm going to fold this one in half, like that. And then this is going to be our pocket here. I don't know how well you can see where my folds are. So maybe let me just ink them so you can see where my folds are. Now you can kind of see that. So then if I put this right in the middle here, I've only got like a tiny little bit at the top of my pocket before my pouch starts bending. And probably what I did, no, I won't even go there. So what I will do is I'll just shorten my pocket a little bit so that I have a little bit more room there. And I have this white part down here, which doesn't really matter because it's not going to show anyway, but I'm just going to cut that off. So that's probably 1/2 inch, yeah, about 1/2 inch on my paper. And then that is just going to go tucked right at the bottom there, at that line. This is going to go up, and then this is going to fold down. So our pocket ended up being a little bit shorter than the other one. I'll just ink this so you can see that too. Okay, so then that goes like that. That will be our pocket, and this will be our flap. I hope you're envisioning that. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of put my package together and flip it over and trim it off. And then what I'm going to do is just cut the sides of this pocket because my page is too wide. If you're doing a wider one, like I did here, then you don't need to worry about cutting the sides. Okay. So then now my pocket fits in there. So I have a pocket here, I have a pocket here, and I have a flap here. And on this one, I trimmed my flap down a little bit just to give it a little bit of a shape. So I'm just going to take my pocket out for a minute. And this is easy pretty much just to do by hand. It's not going to look the same as my first one. This one I have a little bit of a straight part in the middle, and then I have my my slanted part, I don't know, about halfway up. So here's our flap. I'm just going to go about halfway up and just make a little. If you put them together, they'll look the same. And then it doesn't really matter exactly what shape they are. So there is my pouch. And there is my pocket. Okay, so I think that's our whole basic pocket. And now we have to decide where we need to sew. If you're just gluing, then just make sure all of your edges that are glued together here, you know, we've got two bits of paper, make sure all of those edges are glued nice and solid. Sewing I find is much easier, but if you don't sew, that's not possible. Okay, so what I want to do, and this is probably optional, but I want to sew at the top of this pocket and at the top of this pocket. So this and this. and then I'm going to insert everything together, and I'm going to sew all the way around. Okay, so like this one. I sewed here, then I put, you know, you would, when I'm sewing here, I would just take this right out and sew there. I would open this up like this and sew here so that you're not putting, you don't want to do this in a folded position. And then you put it all together, fold everything up how you want it, and then you sew all the way around. Okay, so I'll be right back. I'll ink it and then I'll be right back. Okay, so let's put a little decoration on these guys. I've just been playing around here a little bit. If you're in the group, then all of these bits and pieces are in your free digital kits that come with the group. So go and grab them. I'm just gonna embellish a couple little pieces here. Just gonna put this blue band there, and then I have this little daisy flower that I like. Kind of a stamp sort of thing. You can obviously use whatever you like. This is the Lion of Babylon from the Ishtar Gate, I believe it is. Thought that would be appropriate for our study that we're doing. So that fits perfectly here on mine. I'll just put it right near the top. That looks good. And then I think just little bits and pieces at the bottom here. Just could even do something like that. Have all of these little tags and bits here. There's a smaller one. It's got a sideways heart. I'm not sure if I'm crazy about that part. See what else we got here. Nope. I do like that one. I like the color. I think what I might do is just cover that up with, then it loses kind of its charm, doesn't it? Okay, let me just put that aside for a minute. So for this one, I decided to just put a little bit of cheesecloth in the back and glue this fern image on the front. I really like how that fern image turned out. And then I just put a couple of little bits from the printable here for just an accent. And I actually found this. I was playing with butterflies on another project, and I actually don't know where this butterfly came from. It's not one of mine. It might be from the Junk Journal Studio. I'm not sure, but I thought maybe I would just glue that on there. I like the neutral kind of grungy look, but I do need a little bit of pop of color. I think this is sort of, it just needs something. So I'm going to add this guy, and I apologize, this is not in your printables, but I will add some pops of color going forward, because I think that does, I actually kind of want it to, it's maybe too late. I was going to say I don't want it to cover up the whole "It Is Well With My Soul" there, but you can see with my soul, so that's okay. So there's that one. I think I'll just sort of put a couple of just little random bits inside here. Oops. So I'm going to just tuck this one in here. Make sure that I don't have it over top of the fold there. I like how that looks. And maybe this one up there. got some bits of lace and stuff. I'm not sure if I'm going for a lacy look on this. I think the lace would look good with these colors. I'm just not sure that I want lace yet. And then this one, I am going to glue right here. And I haven't decided what I want to do at the bottom here, have I? Put another strip there. I've got a lot of colors going on here. I don't want... It's just a piece of black embossed paper that I just made for this project. Did something like that, and then like that. Maybe everything is centered, maybe. I kind of like that actually. Let me just rip the other sides into a bit of a regular shape as well. Just roughly center that, and then I've got another little ornament here. I will just put at an angle there, and a little tiny stamp. Like it. There. I do like that, and I think I'm going to glue that on 3 sides like here, and then I have room for a tag or something at the top. I can put this Ezra tag in there. I can put something inside as well, because it is a pouch. So that can go there, could even go there. That might be nice there because it really is sort of the book that we're reading, right? Or even there. So I've got these pieces, and I've got a bunch of little tags and different things here. I've got these little tickets. Fans on, ferns on them. All right, so I glued this piece onto the front of my envelope journal, and this is what it looks like. The back is glued completely on. You could leave it open for a pocket if you like, but I glued mine completely on. And then inside at the back is where I glued this pocket, and this one I did leave open at the back, so that is a pocket there, there's a pocket there, and there's a little pocket there, so lots of spaces to put things on this one. I did actually end up adding another butterfly here, and I believe this one is from the Junk Journal Studio. So again, going forward, if you're in the group, I'm going to be giving you a little bit more color because I'm feeling like these things are a little bit too dark. So I like how that looks. If you have something that you want to add to that, go ahead. Otherwise, just put it on pause for a little bit, and I'll give you some brighter. Tell me if you like this these colors here. I don't have these colors in the kit yet. I do have the blue, but I do like the way that looks. Maybe just a touch more subdued. I'm not sure. Let me know what you think about that butterfly. So there are my 2 pockets in my envelope journal. So thank you so much for watching. Blessings, and we'll see you soon.